Hey, welcome back to the Daily English Podcast. Today we're going to talk about something that's not just important. It's urgent. It's something that's going to affect your future, your job, your family, your income, your chances in life. And most people are not talking about it the right way. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you want to work with the future or be left behind by it? Because whether you're ready or not, the future is already here. It's not tomorrow. It's today. And it's powered by something you've probably heard a lot about lately. Artificial intelligence. We call it AI. Now, I know what you might be thinking. AI? That's only for tech people. Only for programmers and engineers. Only for big cities and smart companies. But let me stop you right there. No, that's not true anymore. Today, AI is for everyone. It's in your phone. It's in your job. It's in your home. And yes, it's in your future. And here's the secret that nobody told us in school. To work with AI, you don't need to be a genius. But you do need to speak English. Let that sink in. Because this is what nobody teaches clearly. If you speak English, even just basic English, you can access the most powerful tools in the world right now. Tools that can write for you, design for you, think with you, help you plan, build, grow, apply, communicate, and connect. But without English, you're stuck on the outside, watching the world change, watching jobs disappear, watching people move forward while you feel like you're falling behind. And that's not your fault. It's just the truth of the new world. The world where English and AI walk hand in hand. So, today, let me walk with you. Let me explain what's happening in a way that feels real. No complicated terms, no boring lectures, just real talk, real examples, real motivation. Because I know you care about your future. That's why you're here. That's why you listen to this podcast. And that's why this episode is for you. Let's start with a story. There was a man who worked as a hotel receptionist. He didn't go to college. He didn't speak perfect English. And he didn't really understand what AI was. But every night after work, he would watch English videos online. Sometimes he didn't understand much. But he listened, repeated, paused, replayed, took notes, practiced. One day, he found out about ChatGPT. He typed something like, "Can you help me improve my English?" And the reply changed everything. It said, "Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's start with a short conversation." He was shocked. A machine, a robot, was talking to him in English, with kindness, with patience, with structure. So he started asking questions. How do I introduce myself in a job interview? What does this word mean? Can you check my email before I send it to my manager? And ChatGPT helped. Every day, every night. 3 months later, he was using AI to write better emails, answer guests' questions more confidently, and even help his hotel improve their customer service. His boss noticed. He got promoted, not because he was the smartest, not because he had the best degree, because he used English, and with English, he used AI, and with AI, he became more powerful. This is not fiction. This is real life. And if he can do it, so can you. Let's talk about why English is so powerful right now. When you use tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Midjourney, or even Google Translate, guess what language they work best in? English. Sure, they support other languages, but the clearest, most accurate, most detailed, most professional results come when you use English. Why? Because the internet is mostly written in English. The code behind AI is mostly written in English. The teams building these tools, from Silicon Valley to Singapore, mostly speak English. So the tools understand English better than any other language. If you type a prompt like, "Please help me write a professional letter of complaint to my landlord about a leaking ceiling," in English, the response is amazing. In another language, it might be confusing or too short or just wrong. Now imagine you're applying for a job. The position is open to people from around the world. Your competitor writes a beautiful, clear cover letter using AI in English. But you struggle. You try to translate. You feel lost. You lose confidence. Who do you think gets the job? It's not about intelligence. It's not about background. It's about communication. And the language of global communication, especially in AI, is English. So the question becomes, are you learning English just for school, just for travel, just to pass a test, or are you learning it to grow, to create, to build a better life? Because now, English is no longer a school subject. It's a life tool, a freedom tool, a success tool. If you've been struggling with English, that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need fancy vocabulary. You just need to start. Because even small English skills, basic phrases, simple sentences, are enough to begin. AI doesn't care about your accent. It doesn't laugh at your mistakes. It doesn't judge your grammar. It just helps. And when you combine that with your willingness to learn, your whole life can change. Now let me ask you again. Do you want to be left behind or walk into the future with power? Because we're standing at the door. And that door is English. And behind that door is AI. And behind that is opportunity. You don't need to move to another country to have a better life. You don't need to spend years in college. You don't even need money. You just need to be willing to learn and use what you learn. A teenager with a smartphone and basic English can create a business using AI. A mother working from home can design posters, edit videos, and write emails using AI if she uses English. A security guard on the night shift can study online, build a resume, and apply for global jobs with the help of AI powered by English. It's not just a theory. It's happening, and it's happening now. You see, this is not just about language. It's about access. When you learn English, you gain access to the biggest library of information in the world. You unlock books, websites, courses, job posts, tutorials, software, videos, podcasts, documents, all written in English. You stop depending on translations. You start learning faster. You stop guessing. You start creating. And the best part? AI helps you learn English too. You don't need a private tutor. You don't need a classroom. You just need a phone, an internet connection, and a desire to grow. Practice every day. Ask questions. Copy phrases. Speak to yourself. Repeat after audio. Try, fail, try again. Use AI tools to check your sentences, fix your mistakes, suggest better words. It's all possible now. You are not alone. And you are not behind. You are just at the beginning of something powerful, something big, something beautiful. So let's keep going, together. You know, people sometimes say, "But my English isn't good enough yet." And I always tell them, you don't need perfect English. You need brave English. Brave English means you use what you know, even if it's broken, even if it's basic, even if it's slow, because brave English combined with smart tools opens the door. Let me tell you about a young mother. Her name was Mira. She had 3 small children and very little time. She worked during the day and cared for her family at night. But she had one big dream, to earn extra income online. Not to be rich, but just enough to give her kids better food, better clothes, maybe a few books. She didn't speak fluent English. but she knew some words. One day, she discovered an AI tool that could help write product descriptions. Mira was selling handmade bracelets online, but she didn't know how to describe them in English, so she asked the tool in simple words. I make bracelet, red and gold. Can you help me write nice sentence? And the AI answered, of course. Here's a sample. Elegant red and gold handmade bracelet, perfect for gifts and everyday style. She copied that sentence, used it, and made her first sale to a customer from another country. That one sentence gave her hope, so every day she learned a little more. How do I say thank you politely to a customer? How do I describe packaging? How do I tell them delivery is late? And step by step, word by word, she grew. Mira didn't wait for perfect English. She used her English, and AI helped her improve as she went. That's what you can do too. If you're listening to this and thinking, maybe I'm too old to start, let me stop you. Age doesn't matter. Background doesn't matter. Only your decision matters. Will you stay silent because you're afraid of mistakes? Or will you speak anyway? And let AI help you learn from them. AI is not here to replace you. It's here to support you, but you have to meet it halfway with language, and that language is English. Let's look at another side of this. A man who worked in construction wanted to apply for a better-paying job, but the application form was in English, and he felt scared. He didn't know how to answer questions like, what are your strengths? Describe your past experience. Why do you want this job? He almost gave up, but then someone told him about ChatGPT. He typed, I want to apply construction job. Help me write answer for why I want this job. And the AI replied with, I'm passionate about construction and always strive to deliver quality work. I enjoy working in a team, learning new skills, and contributing to strong, safe buildings. He was shocked. The sentence was better than anything he'd ever written. He read it aloud, practiced it, memorized it. Then he used it in the interview and got the job. What helped him? Not a college degree, not perfect English, just enough courage to ask, and a tool that answered in English. Now imagine this. What if you had 10 examples like that? 20 practice dialogues, a full script to help you explain yourself with confidence? You don't have to imagine it. It's already here. You just need to use it. Ask the right questions. Try. Explore. Every prompt you write is like a conversation. Every word you learn is like a new tool in your toolbox. And every mistake is a step forward. Don't worry if you forget the grammar. Don't worry if your sentences are short. What matters is that you speak, that you type, that you ask. Because AI is like a mirror. It reflects what you give it. And when you speak in English, that mirror becomes clearer, smarter, faster. Now let's talk about something important. Mindset. Some people hear about AI and feel fear. They think, oh no, robots are going to take my job. But that's only half the story. Yes, some tasks are being automated. But at the same time, new jobs are being created. Jobs like AI prompt writers, customer support with AI tools, language coaches using AI, online freelancers who write and design with AI, business assistants who use AI to prepare, reports, emails, plans. All of these roles are powered by two things: basic tech skills plus English communication. You don't need a master's degree in computer science. You need curiosity, willingness to learn, and enough English to ask smart questions. You see, AI is like fire. It can burn you or warm your home. It depends on how you use it. And English? English is the matchstick. With it, you can light up possibilities. Let me give you a simple example. You want to start a small business. You have a product, let's say handmade candles. You want to sell online, but you don't know how to write product descriptions, set up social media posts, or talk to international customers. So you open your AI tool and ask, "Can you write a short, attractive sentence to describe a vanilla-scented handmade candle?" It replies, "Bring warmth to your home with our handcrafted vanilla-scented candle, elegant, soothing, and perfect for every occasion." You smile. That's beautiful. That's something you never thought you could write. Now you ask, what hashtags should I use to reach international customers on Instagram? It gives you 10 perfect options. Then you ask, how do I politely reply to a customer who received a broken candle? And it answers with empathy and professionalism. Suddenly, you feel powerful, not because you know everything, but because you know how to ask. That's what English does for you. It gives you the ability to ask powerful questions, to get clear answers, to take action. And that is exactly what the future needs. People who know how to think, how to ask, how to learn fast, and how to adapt. Do you want to future-proof your life? Then focus on these two things. 1. Learn how to use AI. 2. Learn how to use English to guide it. Because if you know how to write a clear sentence, you can do more than someone with a degree who's afraid to try. If you can express yourself with emotion and purpose, you can stand out. If you can describe your dream, you can bring it to life. Don't let English be your barrier. Let it be your bridge. Now let me talk to the learners who feel slow, who've been studying for years, but still feel shy to speak. I want to say this with love. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are just warming up. You've been learning the hard way. Books, exams, pressure. Now it's time to learn the real way, through communication, through connection, through tools that support you. Try this tonight. Open ChatGPT or any English AI assistant. Say hello. Ask it to help you with something small, like, "Can you help me practice a short dialogue at a restaurant?" And let the magic begin. This is your new teacher. Always available, always patient, always willing. And the more you use it, the better you become. One day, you'll look back and smile, because you'll remember the day you stopped waiting and started speaking. You are not too late, you are not too old, you are not too slow, you are exactly where you need to be. And today is your turning point. Let's keep walking together. Let's talk about something that's hard to say out loud. Fear. A lot of people are scared. Scared of being replaced by machines. Scared of not finding a job in 5 years. Scared of being left behind. Scared that their English will never be good enough. Scared that they'll stay stuck where they are forever. And that fear? It's real. I've felt it too. It sits in your chest like a weight. It keeps you quiet in meetings. It makes you avoid applying for jobs. It makes you scroll through job sites and think, "I'll never be good enough." But let me tell you something no one told me before. Fear doesn't go away when you wait. Fear disappears when you move. And when you move with English, one step at a time, you take power back. I've seen people go from shy to confident, from lost to focused, from invisible to unstoppable. Not because they had all the answers, but because they chose to try. That's the beginning of everything. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you used English for something real? Not a test, not a grammar book, but to write a message, ask a question, learn a tool, Build something new. That's where your growth begins. The real way to learn English in 2025 is different now. It's no longer just classrooms and exams. Now it's about interaction, real-world practice, confidence, expression, AI tools. You can use your English today to do things that matter. Let's say you want to improve your speaking. You don't need a native teacher to begin. You can ask your AI assistant, "Can you act like a friendly American teacher and help me practice a conversation at the airport?" And boom, you have a role play. You can repeat it, practice it. You can ask, "Please correct my mistakes." You can even say, "Make it more natural." Do you see the power in that? You don't have to wait anymore. You already have what you need, and when you use your English this way, your brain stops memorizing and starts connecting. Your mouth starts moving. Your fear starts shrinking. And your life starts changing. Now let's talk about jobs. What jobs will still be important in the future? Not just the technical ones, but the human ones. The ones that require communication, emotion, clarity, speed. Jobs like customer support, content creation, online education, coaching, marketing, sales, translation, teaching, freelancing, social, media management. All of these require clear English and the ability to use AI tools to work faster and smarter. Let me give you a real-life example. A woman in Vietnam runs a small business selling handmade bags. She used to write all her product descriptions herself, but her English was limited, and her descriptions didn't sound professional. Sales were slow. Then one day she discovered ChatGPT. She started writing simple prompts in English like, "Can you help me write a short, friendly sentence to describe a handmade leather bag?" Or, "How do I answer a customer who wants a refund?" AI gave her answers instantly. Beautiful answers, friendly, clear, professional. So she used those phrases in her website, Instagram, and customer chats. Within 1 month, her sales doubled. International customers started trusting her more. Why? Because her English looked professional. Her service was smoother, her replies were faster, and all of that came from using simple English with a smart tool. This is not the future. This is now. It's happening every day. And guess what? You can do it too. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if your English is slow. You just need to start using what you know. I'll say it again because it's important. You don't need perfect English. You need practical English. The kind of English that lets you say, "Hello, can you help me with this email? I want to write a job application. Please give me 3 examples. Correct my sentence, please. What's another way to say this more politely?" When you can ask those kinds of questions, even with simple grammar, you become unstoppable. Because you're learning. You're growing. You're not standing still anymore. And when you stop standing still, everything changes. Now let's be honest about something else. Sometimes people look down on others for using translation tools or AI. They say, "That's not real English," or "That's cheating." Ignore that noise. Using tools is not cheating. It's smart. If you had a flat tire, would you use your hands to lift the car? No. You'd use a jack. If you needed to cross a river, would you swim across with your phone in your pocket? No. You'd use a bridge. AI is your English bridge, and there's no shame in using it. In fact, the smartest learners are the ones who learn with it, so use it proudly. Use it daily. Use it with purpose. Write down prompts. Copy good phrases. Ask questions, save helpful responses, speak them out loud. This is how you build your language muscle. Day by day, phrase by phrase, not by memorizing rules, but by living the language. Now, let me show you how to use AI with English in a real-world task. Imagine you want to apply for a remote customer service job. The job ad says, looking for someone with strong English communication, email writing skills, and the ability to respond to customers professionally. Sounds scary? Here's what you do. You open your AI tool. Type, help me write a professional cover letter for a customer support job. I want to sound polite, confident, and friendly. Then type, can you give me 3 answers to the question, why do you want this job? Then type, what are 5 common questions in a customer service interview, and how should I answer them? Then ask, can you help me practice those answers in a role-play format? You just created your own job coach for free, in English, in minutes. Now imagine you do this every week. 1 new prompt, 1 new conversation, 1 new email. After 3 months, your confidence is unrecognizable. That's how fast it can happen. You don't need to wait for someone to give you permission. The future doesn't wait. It moves with those who move first. So move, ask questions, try things, make mistakes. Try again. Let me share one last story in this part. A boy named Kareem wanted to become a game designer, but he didn't have a laptop. No expensive software, just a phone and a dream. So he started learning in English, watching videos, asking ChatGPT questions like, how do I make a simple game in Python? What is the difference between Unity and Unreal Engine? Explain it to me like I'm 12 years old. The answers were clear, step by step, in English. He took notes, asked more questions, practiced the same lesson again and again. After 6 months, Kareem made his first small mobile game. He shared it online. A small game, but a big first step. And it all started with a few simple English questions and the courage to keep going. So I want to leave you with this. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to be persistent. Your English is not your weakness. It's your superpower. If you use it the right way. And AI? It's your partner. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't get angry. It's always ready to help you grow. But it needs you to speak to it, to guide it, to give it your voice. And that voice, it doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be yours. So speak, write, ask, grow. Because the future belongs to those who are willing to use their voice. Even if it shakes at first, especially when it shakes. You've got this. And we're here with you. Every word of the way. Let's go deeper now. Let's talk about the jobs that don't even exist yet, but will exist in the next 5 years. And guess what they all have in common? They require you to speak clearly, think fast, ask smart questions, communicate across borders. They require you to speak English. Let me give you a few examples. AI content reviewer, AI chatbot trainer, AI prompt specialist, remote English conversation coach, cultural consultant for virtual customer experiences, voice script creator for AI tools, video narrator for short-form educational content, emotional tone tester for machine language, human-AI relationship manager. These titles sound strange today, but they'll be normal very soon. And the people who will get hired are not the ones with the most experience. They're the ones who can learn fast, adapt quickly, and express clearly. You don't need to know everything today, but you need to prepare. And preparing starts with how you use your English. People say AI is taking jobs. That's not the full story. AI is replacing tasks, not humans. But humans who understand AI and can communicate clearly are replacing humans who can't. You don't want to be the person who says, "I don't understand this technology, so I'll just avoid it." You want to be the person who says, "I don't fully understand it yet, but I'm learning, I'm asking, I'm growing." That's how you stay valuable. And the first step is simple. Start using your English in real ways right now. Ask your AI tool, "Explain this job description to me in simple English. Help me prepare answers for this interview. Rewrite my resume to sound more confident. Create an English email to follow up with the company." These are not just practice tasks. They are real-life power moves. Every sentence you write is building your voice. Every message you send is shaping your future. Every prompt you type is sharpening your mind. Now, some people still say, "But I don't want to sound like a robot. I want to sound human." That's a beautiful goal. And guess what? English gives you the human touch, because in a world full of machines and automation, the people who can speak with empathy, clarity, kindness, and confidence, those are the people who will always be needed. Let's say you're answering a customer complaint. The AI can suggest the structure, but it's you who brings the warmth, the tone, the understanding. Let's say you're writing a job application. The AI can give you a draft, but it's your voice that makes it feel real. So don't be afraid that AI will replace your humanity. Use English to show it. Write better, speak clearer, ask deeper questions, tell stories, connect emotionally, because that's what employers want. That's what partners want. That's what the world wants. Not just smart people, but real people who know how to communicate. And English, especially with AI tools, helps you develop that skill. Now let's get practical. Here are a few things you can do starting today to grow your future with English and AI. Number 1. Open your AI tool and say, "Please explain this news article to me in simple English." You're not only practicing reading, you're also learning how to summarize, how to spot key ideas, how to understand formal language. Number 2. Type a message you want to send at work or to a client. Then ask, "Can you make this message sound more polite and professional?" You're improving your tone, learning how to write naturally, and getting ideas for future situations. Number 3. Say, "I want to practice English conversation. Pretend you are my English teacher and correct me." Then start a conversation. You're practicing speaking and listening. You're training your mind to form sentences. You're gaining confidence. Number 4. Use AI to build your personal brand. Ask, "How can I write a short professional bio? In English for my LinkedIn or resume?" Then follow up. "Can you suggest 5 ways to improve it? Can you rewrite it using more action verbs?" Now you're learning how to describe yourself, how to be confident in English, how to show your value. You can do all of this from your phone, for free, in 10 minutes a day, no excuses. This is not about becoming fluent overnight. It's about building one strong English brick every single day, and letting AI help you shape that brick cleaner, faster, stronger. And here's a powerful tip I want you to write down. Don't just learn English. Learn how to use English, because knowledge without use is like a tool you never take out of the box. Speak it, write it, ask with it, build with it. Make English a living part of your daily life. Use it to search smarter, talk clearer, think deeper, work better, learn faster. English is no longer a school subject. It's your professional passport. It's your connection to the global job market. It's your voice in the AI era. And here's one more truth I want you to carry with you. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be active. The ones who win in this new world are not the most talented. They are the most consistent. They keep showing up. They keep asking. They keep growing. So if you feel behind, don't stop. If you feel nervous, don't pause. If you feel slow, don't quit. Your speed doesn't matter. Your direction does. And if you're walking toward better English, better communication, better technology skills, you are already winning. I know this journey is hard. I know you feel tired sometimes. I know there are days when English feels like a mountain and AI feels like a storm. But I want you to know something. You're not alone. And you're not weak. You're becoming powerful in a quiet way. Every time you sit down and type a new sentence, every time you speak even when you're shy, every time you use an AI tool to help you grow, you're building something that no machine can replace. You're building you. And that's the most important project of your life. So keep going. Use your English. Use your voice. Use your tools. Use your courage. And one day, not far from now, you'll look around and realize you're not just surviving the future. You're leading it. Now let's talk about the people who say, I have a job already. I don't need English. Or, I don't work with technology, so AI is not my thing. I understand why you feel that way, but let me gently challenge that thinking, because whether you're a taxi driver, a restaurant worker, a cleaner, a factory worker, a farmer, a security guard, or a housewife, English and AI can still open doors for you. Let me explain. A driver who speaks English can take international customers and earn more. A restaurant worker who understands English menus and phrases can serve better and get promoted. A cleaner who learns polite English expressions can communicate clearly with building managers or hotel guests. A factory worker who understands safety instructions in English can become a team leader. A farmer who reads online articles about weather, seeds, and markets in English can make smarter decisions. A housewife who practices English and uses AI to learn can start a side business from home. This is not just theory. This is real life. I've seen it happen. Let me tell you the story of Bofa. She was a full-time mom with 2 kids. She never went to university. Her English was very basic. But she had one habit. Every night after putting the kids to sleep, she would open YouTube and watch English videos. Sometimes she didn't understand, but she kept watching. One day, she saw a video about using ChatGPT to write product descriptions for online shops. She thought, maybe I can sell something too. She started making homemade soap. Then she asked AI, how do I describe this soap for international customers? AI gave her 5 beautiful sentences. Next, she asked, how do I answer questions about ingredients? How do I create a return policy? How do I thank a customer in a friendly way? Within weeks, she had an online store. Within months, she had a steady income. And it all started with basic English and brave curiosity. Bofa didn't wait to be perfect. She started with what she had. You can do that too. If you're a teacher, you can use AI to prepare lessons, explain concepts, and practice classroom English. If you're a nurse, you can use English to read medical updates, translate instructions, or talk to foreign patients. If you're a builder, you can learn safety protocols and apply for jobs with international companies. If you're a student, You can use AI to summarize, research, and practice communication for school and life. English doesn't belong to native speakers. It belongs to anyone who wants to grow. And AI doesn't belong to programmers. It belongs to anyone who wants to create. Let me show you something powerful. Here are 10 English prompts you can use right now with AI. Correct this sentence for grammar and suggest a better version. Write a short, polite email to ask for a job interview. Give me 3 polite ways to say no in English. Help me write an introduction about myself for my resume. Create a conversation for me to practice ordering food at a restaurant. Explain this English phrase. Let's keep in touch. Make this message sound more confident and friendly. What does "you've got this" mean in a motivational way? Help me write a Facebook post to sell handmade bracelets. Create a short thank you message in English for a customer. You can copy these prompts, practice them, speak them aloud. This is how you stop learning from fear and start learning from action. Let's talk about that for a moment. Fear. You might feel afraid to speak, afraid of sounding wrong, afraid that someone will laugh at your English. But let me tell you a secret. Everyone starts that way. Even the most confident speakers made mistakes at first. The difference is, they didn't stop. They kept going. They asked questions. They repeated phrases. They used what they knew. They trusted the process. That's how you grow. Not by knowing everything, but by practicing something every single day. And now, you have a silent partner that never sleeps, an AI tool that doesn't judge you, that helps you rewrite, that supports you with ideas, that teaches you in English for free. That's the opportunity. So I want you to imagine something. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the version of yourself 6 months from now. You're still you. But you speak English with more confidence. You write faster. You reply to messages without fear. You apply for jobs with well-written cover letters. You know how to ask AI to help you create a lesson plan, a flyer, a budget, or a presentation. That version of you is not far away. It's just a few small, consistent actions away. Because with English and AI, every day is a chance to build your future, sentence by sentence. Now let's go even deeper. Let's talk about your self-image. Sometimes we tell ourselves, I'm not good at languages. I'm too slow. I don't sound smart in English. I can never speak like a native. But what if I told you, you don't have to. You don't have to sound like a native. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to memorize every rule. You just have to communicate clearly and confidently. You just have to make your message heard. The world is changing fast, and people are tired of fake perfection. They want real people. People who try. People who connect. People who care. So let your English be real. Let it have emotion. Let it carry your voice. Even if your grammar is not perfect, your story matters. Even if your vocabulary is limited, your message is strong. Even if your accent is different, your courage speaks louder. And when you combine that real English with real AI support, you become unstoppable. Now, here's what I want you to remember before we move into the next part. You are not learning English just to pass a test. You are learning English to live better, to work smarter, to connect more deeply, to take part in the future. You are not studying AI to become a robot. You are studying AI to stay human, with superpowers. The ability to ask, to create, to understand, to improve, to express, all in English. All through simple daily practice, all through tools that are already in your hand. So here's what I want you to do today, right after you finish this episode. Step 1. Open your AI tool. Type, "Hello, I want to practice English today. Please help me with a short conversation." Step 2. Practice that conversation out loud. Record yourself. Repeat it twice. Step 3. Write a message about your day. Then type, "Can you correct this message and make it sound more natural?" Step 4. Read the improved version out loud. Feel the rhythm. Feel the clarity. Step 5. Thank yourself. Yes. Say out loud, "I'm proud of myself for practicing. I'm getting better every day." Because you are. And I'm proud of you too. This journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. And you're doing better than you think. Let's take a moment now and just breathe. Because sometimes we move through life so fast, we forget to ask, what kind of future am I building? What am I really preparing myself for? Am I learning just to survive? Or am I learning to lead? You see, this world doesn't belong to the loudest. It belongs to the learners, the ones who keep going even when it's quiet, the ones who say, "I don't know this yet, but I will." And right now, you're one of them. You're not just learning English. You're learning how to communicate with the future. Because artificial intelligence is not just a new tool, it's a new language. And the language that unlocks it is English. When you know how to speak clearly, ask the right questions, and describe what you want, AI becomes your assistant, your mentor, your creative partner, your personal coach. But when you can't speak the language, AI becomes quiet, unreachable, a tool you can't touch. So the key is not perfection. The key is access, and English gives you that access. You don't need to write a book. You just need to express an idea. You don't need to memorize 1,000 words. You just need the courage to speak the 10 words you already know. And trust that's enough to begin. Let me tell you a short story about a young man named Adil. He worked at a repair shop fixing phones. He didn't go to university, but he had one dream: to create a YouTube channel where he could teach people how to fix small tech problems. The only problem? He didn't speak fluent English. He knew if he wanted to reach a global audience, he had to explain clearly, in simple English. So every night after work, he typed into ChatGPT, "How do I explain how to reset a phone in simple English? How do I say, if your screen is frozen, do this? How do I write a clear title for my video?" And every night he copied the answers, practiced the words, whispered the phrases into his phone, recorded a short video, posted it online. The first few videos were small, rough, imperfect, but they were real, and real always wins. 3 months later, Adil had over 5,000 subscribers. People were messaging him from different countries. He wasn't just fixing phones anymore. He was fixing confidence, both his own and his viewers. How? English and AI, simple, consistent, brave. So if you've been waiting for someone to give you permission, here it is. You are allowed to begin, right now. With the English you have, with the tools you already own, you don't need a perfect accent. You need an open heart. You don't need to sound like a teacher. You just need to sound like you. Because your story matters, and your voice, no matter how soft, has power. Let's go even deeper now. Imagine two people walking into the future. One knows how to use AI but doesn't speak English. The other knows English, even just basic, and uses it to guide AI, ask for help, build projects, and talk to people. Which one will grow faster? The one who can communicate. Because in every profession, from farming to finance, from healthcare to hospitality, the one who speaks clearly is the one who leads. Think about your own job. Can you describe your role in English? Can you explain a problem to a client? Can you ask AI to help you plan your tasks? Can you write a short message to your boss or teammate? These are the real questions now. Because the job market is changing, not slowly, quickly. Remote work is rising, global teams are normal, freelance work is exploding, soft skills, communication, clarity, tone are more valuable than ever, and your English is your tool for all of it. Let me give you a small list of things you can do every week using English and AI. Practice small talk for Zoom meetings, improve your job interview answers, create better social media captions, write polite follow-up emails, learn new vocabulary with example sentences, ask AI to quiz you with short questions, build a new habit tracker in English, create a study plan with realistic goals, learn how to describe your feelings better. Practice apologizing and explaining politely. All of these things can be done with one tool and one language. And I know what you might be thinking, but I'm too tired after work. I forget words easily. I don't have anyone to speak with. I make too many mistakes. I hear you. I've been there too. But I want you to ask yourself one honest question. Is the fear of mistakes bigger than your dream? Or is your dream bigger than your excuses? Because no one becomes confident without practice, and no one becomes fluent without speaking. If you don't have someone to talk to yourself. Talk to your phone. Talk to the AI tool. Talk out loud while doing the dishes. Talk in the mirror. Just talk. And soon your brain will stop translating. Your sentences will come faster. Your tongue will move smoother. Your confidence will rise naturally. You'll go from, I'm not sure, to, let me explain. You'll go from, I'm shy, to, I've practiced this. You'll go from watching the future to living in it. All because you chose to start. All because you chose to show up. All because you said, even if I'm slow, I'm still moving. And that's what matters most. So here's what I want you to do now. Pause this episode after I finish speaking. And speak for 1 minute, yes, out loud. Start with something simple like, today I listened to a podcast about English and AI. Then continue. I learned that I don't need perfect grammar to begin. I'm proud of myself for showing up today. I will keep going, even when I feel nervous. Just 1 minute. That 1 minute is your first step into tomorrow. Because this isn't just a podcast. It's a permission slip. It's a reminder. It's a mirror showing you what's possible. So, I want to end this section by telling you something that I hope you never forget. The world will always change. Jobs will come and go. Tools will get faster. Technology will grow. But you, your kindness, your effort, your curiosity, your story, that's what the future truly needs. Machines can calculate, but only humans can care. AI can write, but only you can make people feel something. English gives you the power to be part of that global story, to stand up, to show up, to speak up. So don't wait until you feel ready, because you're ready now. You just needed a little push, and maybe this was it. You're still here. That already says so much about you. You're not a quitter. You're not someone who runs away from challenges. You're someone who stays, listens, learns, and grows. That's rare, and that's powerful. Now let me ask you a gentle question. When you think about your future, do you see yourself improving in English Or just surviving with what you already know? Be honest. Are you using English every day? Or just hoping that one day you'll feel confident? Because confidence doesn't arrive like a gift. It grows like a plant. You water it, you feed it, you protect it, you show up for it, even when it grows slowly, and that's how you grow. Your English, too. Let me give you a simple 7-day challenge. One small action per day. Nothing fancy, just real growth. Day 1. Ask AI. Teach me 5 simple phrases to greet someone in English. Practice them out loud. Morning, evening, whisper. Them. Own them. Day 2. Write a short message to describe your favorite food. Ask AI. Please correct my grammar and make it sound more natural. Compare, learn, repeat. Day 3. Use AI to role play. I want to practice ordering coffee in English. Can you help me? Then read both roles, out loud. Smile as you speak. Day 4. Choose one motivational sentence, like, I believe in myself. Ask AI. Give me 5 ways to say this differently in English. Practice tone, rhythm, and emotion. Day 5. Write a short paragraph about your dream. Ask AI to improve it, then say it like it's already true. Day 6. Search for an English podcast or video on your favorite topic. Ask AI to summarize it for you, then explain the summary in your own words. Day 7. Talk to yourself. 1 full minute. No stopping. No apology. Talk about your day, your family, your goals. Just speak, like your voice deserves space, and because it does. Now imagine you repeat that for 4 weeks. Do you know what happens? Your vocabulary grows, your speaking becomes smoother, your confidence stops shaking, and most importantly, your belief in yourself returns. That's the real goal. Yes, English is important for work. Yes, AI is changing the job market. But more than anything, this journey is about you, learning to believe again, in your voice, in your growth, in your power to change your own story. So let's go back to work for a moment. Let's imagine you want to apply for a remote job. Here's how to use English and AI together to prepare. First, copy the job ad into your AI tool. Ask, can you explain this job post in simple English? Now you understand it clearly. Second, say, help me write a short cover letter for this position. I want to sound confident, friendly, and professional. Third, say, can you ask me 5 common interview questions for this type of job? Fourth, practice answering them aloud. Ask AI to correct and improve your answers. Fifth, say, how do I follow up politely after a job interview in English? Learn that. Save the message. Use it. Now you've just built an English AI job preparation system, and it's all free. You're not guessing anymore. You're preparing. And that's the kind of person who gets hired. Let me share something personal now. I once knew someone who never applied for a promotion, not because they weren't good enough, but because they couldn't explain themselves in English. Every time the chance came, they told themselves, my grammar is weak. My accent is too strong. What if I freeze during the interview? So they stayed in the same position, year after year. But deep down, they weren't lazy. They were scared. Now imagine if that person had asked for help, used English with AI, practiced interview answers, rehearsed small talk, learned how to write a simple elevator pitch. How different would their life be now? And maybe you felt that way too. Holding back, staying quiet, saying no to opportunities because of fear. But that doesn't have to be your story anymore. Not after today. You have a voice. You have a tool. You have a new chance. And this time, you won't stay silent. You'll show up. You'll prepare. You'll speak. Even if your voice shakes. Because growth begins when fear loses its power. Let's take a moment now to reflect on your relationship with English. What's one sentence you've been afraid to say out loud? Maybe, "I'm learning but I'm still slow," or "I don't understand this clearly," or "I want to ask for help but I'm embarrassed." Whatever it is, bring it into the light. Say it. Then say, "And I'm working on it." That second sentence, that's where your strength lives. Let me show you a trick. The next time you don't know how to say something in English, open your AI tool and type, "I want to say this in a more confident way." Or, "I want to say this politely in a work email." Or, "I want to explain this to a customer. Can you help me sound friendly?" You're not just fixing your grammar. You're learning how to present yourself. That's what real English power looks like. Not just knowing words, but knowing how to use them to support your goals. And AI becomes your practice partner, your editor, your mirror, your motivational coach. But you're the one who has to take the first step, to write, to speak, to ask. If you do that, even once a day, you'll feel the shift. You'll go from, "I don't know what to say," to, "I know what to ask." You'll go from, "I don't sound smart enough," to, "My message is clear." You'll go from, "People will judge me," to, "I'm proud of how far I've come," because you are growing. Every single time you choose to try again, even when you feel tired. That's progress, not the kind you can see in the mirror, but the kind that builds your future behind the scenes. You're not weak for needing help. You're smart for knowing where to find it. And now, English and AI, they're your tools. Use them fully. Use them boldly. You don't have to impress anyone. Just express your truth. You don't have to be a star. Just be a learner who never gives up. And when people ask, "How did you become so confident in English?" you'll say, "I practiced with purpose. I asked better questions. I used what I had. And I believed in my future." That future? It's already on the way. You're building it right now, one sentence at a time. Let's talk about the kinds of jobs many of us already do, and how English with AI can make those jobs easier, better, and even more rewarding. Let's say you're working in hospitality, maybe in a hotel, a guest house, a restaurant. You meet people from different countries. You smile. You try to understand. But sometimes, the words just don't come fast enough. Now imagine this. You open your phone during your break and ask AI, "How do I greet a hotel guest in a friendly way in English?" Or, "Can you give me 5 polite ways to say, 'Please wait a moment, I will check for you'?" Or, "What's a more professional way to say, 'Sorry, we don't have that room available'?" Now suddenly you're not guessing. You're learning real natural phrases, the kind native speakers actually use. And when you say them, people listen. People smile. People trust you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to sound clear, calm, and kind. And that's something you can practice every single day. With AI, or maybe you're working in customer service. Maybe you reply to emails or solve problems. Sometimes the problem isn't the product, it's communication. So you open your English tool and ask, "How do I politely say, 'I understand your concern, and I'm working on it,' or 'Can you help me write a reply to an angry customer that sounds helpful and calm?'" And just like that, you turn confusion into clarity. You sound professional. You show care. You become someone the company needs, not because of your title, but because of your tone, because of your communication, because of your English. Let's go further. Maybe you're a teacher. You want to teach in English or teach students who speak English, but you're not sure if your words are correct. You wonder, what's the best way to explain this idea? How can I ask a question in a more engaging way? So you type, give me 5 different ways to ask students to stay focused in class, in friendly English. Or, can you help me explain the water cycle in simple English with examples? And suddenly your lessons become smoother. Your students respond more. You feel less nervous and more like yourself. You're not just teaching. You're connecting. You're not just surviving. You're leading. And all of this is possible with the English you already know and the AI support you've just started to use. Let's take another example. Imagine you work in healthcare, maybe as a nurse, a receptionist at a clinic, or a pharmacy assistant. Every day people ask questions, and sometimes they speak a language you don't understand. Now, you don't panic. You open your AI tool and ask, how do I explain this medicine instruction in simple English? Or, what's a clear way to say, you should take this pill after eating? Even if you don't say it perfectly, you say it clearly. And that can change everything. You build trust. You reduce mistakes. You make people feel safe. That's not just language. That's impact. That's service. Now imagine you're a driver. You drive for tourists, business people, or just people from another city. They ask questions in English. They give directions. And you want to respond, but you're not sure how. So in your quiet moments, you practice, can you help me say, do you want the air conditioning on or off? Or, what's a friendly way to say, please wear your seatbelt? Then, you speak with more ease. And when people feel safe and respected, they tip better. They return. They recommend you. That's growth, not magic. Just practice, with purpose. Now let's talk about jobs you do from home, or wish to do one day. Maybe you want to sell something online. Handmade items, clothing, home decor. Maybe you want to start a small tutoring service. Maybe you want to work as a virtual assistant, helping a business manage their emails or social media. English and AI can help you build that dream, one small piece at a time. You can ask, help me write a product description for a handmade pillow. Or, what are 5 polite ways to message a client about a late payment? Or, create a short thank you message I can send to customers after purchase. You don't have to guess. You don't have to pay a copywriter. You are the writer, with AI as your guide. Now some people will ask, but if AI writes everything, am I really learning? And I say this, yes, if you're paying attention. Because every sentence it gives you is a lesson. Every correction is a teacher. Every phrase is a seed you can plant in your mind and water every day. So don't just copy. Study, speak, repeat, rewrite, say it again in your own words. That's how you grow. And here's something important I want you to remember. You are allowed to learn slowly. This is not a race. No one is timing you. No one is grading you. You are not late. You are not behind. You are learning in your own way. And that is beautiful. So the next time someone asks, why are you still studying English? You can smile and say, because I'm building my future. And that's all they need to know. Let's pause now and reflect. Take a moment, breathe in, and ask yourself, what job do I dream of doing better in the next year? What role do I wish I could apply for? What kind of tasks do I want to do with more confidence? Picture that clearly. Then ask, what English skills do I need to make that dream easier? And how can AI help me practice those specific skills? Because now you're not just dreaming, you're strategizing, you're being intentional, you're being smart. This is how success is built, not from big, loud changes, but from small, daily decisions, just like this one. I know people who started speaking English alone in their bedrooms. They used free apps, free videos, free tools. Today they lead teams. They give online classes. They create YouTube videos. They host podcasts. They answer client calls with grace and confidence. Were they born lucky? No. They just didn't stop, even when it was quiet, even when no one clapped, even when it felt slow. So if today feels quiet, that's okay. If your progress feels invisible, that's okay too. Because one day, all these quiet days will speak for you. You're improved. English will speak for you. Your better job options will speak for you. Your clearer voice will speak for you. And that's when people will say, "You speak so well. How did you do it?" And you'll smile and say, "I just didn't stop." Let's talk now about the most powerful skill you can ever develop. And it's not vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation. It's this: belief in yourself. Because even if you have the best AI tools, even if you know 1,000 English words, even if you practice every day, if deep inside you still say, "I'm not good enough," then every word will feel heavy, every sentence will feel scary, and every mistake will feel like a failure. But here's the truth. You are not your mistakes. You are not your grammar. You are not your accent. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are evolving. You are growing. And that is more than enough. You don't need to speak perfect English to be respected. You don't need to speak fast to be understood. You just need to speak with honesty, with clarity, with heart. And believe me, people will listen. Because people don't remember perfect grammar. They remember how you made them feel. When someone speaks slowly but kindly, we feel safe. When someone speaks clearly but simply, we feel connected. When someone tries their best, we feel inspired. That's what you bring when you show up with courage. And if right now you're thinking, "But I always feel nervous. But I forget everything when it's time to speak. But my mind goes blank in real conversations," let me tell you, that's normal. That's part of learning. That's part of growing. But it's not a reason to stop. It's a reason to practice differently. And now you have a way to do that. You can use AI not just to learn English, but to heal your relationship with English. Let me explain. When we were young, some of us were laughed at for speaking wrong. Some were punished for making mistakes. Some were told, "You're just not good at languages." And we believed it. We started to carry shame in our voices. We started to shrink. We stopped raising our hands. We stopped trying. And that wound, it stayed. But now, with one English sentence, with one gentle AI conversation, with one brave practice session, you start to take your voice back. You start to say, "My English may not be perfect, but my effort is real. My voice may shake, but I'm still speaking. My journey may be slow, but I am still moving." And that, my friend, that's what real progress looks like. Let's talk about how you can use AI to practice English without shame, because shame kills motivation, but kindness builds it. So here's what you do. You sit down, you breathe, you type a sentence like, "I'm learning English and I'd like to practice. Please be gentle and patient with me." And AI says, "Of course, I'm proud of you for showing up." Let's begin. That's the space where you grow, where mistakes are okay, where questions are welcome, where your effort is enough. Then you start slow. How do I describe my morning routine? What are 3 polite ways to ask someone to speak more slowly? Can you correct this sentence kindly? You don't need applause. You just need practice. Gentle, honest, regular practice. And every time you do this, you repair that old wound. You replace the voice that said, "You're not good enough," with a new voice that says, "You're learning. Keep going." Let me remind you, you are not stupid. You are not slow. You are learning something incredibly hard and doing it with grace. Because English is not just a language. It's a mindset. It's a mirror. And how you talk to yourself while learning it matters more than anything. So be kind, be patient, be consistent, and be proud of every little sentence you say, because every sentence is a step, and every step is proof. You are not staying stuck. You are becoming the person you once only imagined. Let me give you a personal reflection. I've worked with many learners. Some had beautiful grammar, but no confidence. Some had strong accents, but incredible clarity. Some used broken English, but spoke from the heart. And do you know who people trusted the most? The ones who tried with love. The ones who communicated with feeling. The ones who kept going even when it felt hard. You don't need to be impressive. You need to be authentic, because English isn't a competition. It's a bridge, and you are building that bridge every time you ask, answer, repeat, or try again. Now, I want you to say this out loud with me. I speak slowly, but I speak with care. I forget sometimes, but I still try. I make mistakes, but I'm not ashamed. I am learning. I am growing. I am enough. Say it again. Let it sink in. Let it heal the part of you that's been afraid for too long, because your voice deserves freedom, not just in your native language, but in English too. You deserve to say what you think, to share your ideas, to apply for that job, to reply to that email, to join that meeting, to raise your hand in that classroom, to speak in that video, to write that caption, to post that thought, to be heard. And if today you still feel nervous, that's okay. Speak anyway. If today your sentence sounds awkward, that's okay. Try again tomorrow. If today your voice shakes, that's okay. It's still your voice, and you are still speaking, and that is a victory. So my challenge for you now is this. Use AI not just to correct your English, but to protect your confidence. Ask it to be your coach. Ask it to be your friend. Ask it to encourage you, because in a world full of noise, you need at least one quiet space where you can practice without fear. And that space is now in your pocket, on your phone, in your hand, waiting for your brave sentence. And I hope your next sentence is this. Hi, I'm ready to try. Let's look at where all of this is going. You've been learning. You've been showing up. You've been trying. Maybe quietly, maybe slowly. But you're still here. And now it's time to ask something bigger. What kind of life do you want to build with your English? Because this isn't just about speaking better. This is about living better. Living with more options. Living with more confidence. Living with more connection. Living with more chances to grow, to earn, to share, to belong. And to do that, we need to stop thinking of English as a school subject and start thinking of it as a daily tool, a tool for your career, a tool for your creativity, a tool for your relationships, a tool for your freedom. And when you combine that tool with AI, now you're not just learning, you're building. So let's talk about what that actually looks like in your real life. Let's say you wake up early and want to plan your day. You open your AI tool and type, "Help me write my to-do list in English for today." Now you're organizing your life in English. You're seeing your responsibilities, your goals, your focus, and each line you read or speak makes your English stronger and your day smoother. Then you say, "Can you give me one motivational quote in English today?" You read it, repeat it, feel it. It becomes your mindset. That's emotional fluency, not just grammar, but belief. Later in the day, you get an idea for a small business. You type, "How do I describe this business idea in English for a Facebook post?" AI helps you write it. You feel proud. You post it. And someone responds. Now you're not just dreaming, you're creating. That evening, you have a few minutes to relax. You want to practice English, but you're tired. So you type, "Let's do a short, friendly conversation about ordering dinner." And AI replies, "Sure, I'll play the waiter, you play the customer. Ready?" Now you're laughing, practicing, enjoying. This is not pressure. This is progress. And it feels good. All of that happened in one day. Without a teacher. Without a class. Without money. Just you. Your phone. Your English. And your willingness to try. That is the new way of learning. That is the new world of work. And you are already part of it. Let me give you 5 real-world habits you can start using today. Habit 1. Speak to your AI once a day in English. Even if it's just, "Good morning, how are you today?" Let English become your morning stretch. Not for fluency, for flow. Habit 2. Ask your AI tool to check one sentence you wrote that day. It could be a message, a note, a social post, a comment. Get feedback. Learn a better version. Repeat it aloud. Habit 3. Use AI to rewrite your thoughts. If you feel sad, tired, or unsure, type what you're feeling. Then ask, "Can you turn this into a more positive English message?" Now you're not just learning language, you're learning mindset. Habit 4. Record your voice once a week. Pick one topic. Talk for 1 minute. Then ask AI, "How was my sentence structure? Can you suggest smoother phrases?" That one practice will change your confidence forever. Habit 5. Build a vocabulary list from real life. Each day, pick 3 words you used or heard. Ask AI, "Give me 3 new example sentences with these words." Say them out loud. Use them tomorrow. These 5 habits, done daily or weekly, will change your English faster than anything you did in school. Because now, it's personal. It's real. And you are in control. You're not waiting for someone to teach you. You're teaching yourself. With help. And that's the strongest kind of learning there is. Now, I want to ask you something deep. What would your life look like if you could speak English clearly every day with confidence? Would you apply for a better job? Start a side business? Teach someone else what you've learned? Travel without fear? Express your thoughts online? Send messages that actually say what you mean? Take a breath. Really imagine it. Let that image live in your mind for a moment, because that version of you, the confident, calm, expressive version. That version is already inside you. You're not building someone new. You're revealing what's already there. You just need a little help, a little structure, a little faith, and that's what AI can offer you now. It's not just a machine. It's not cold or distant. It's a mirror. It reflects your effort. It shapes your voice. It waits patiently. It never laughs at you. It never gets tired. It never says, "You're too slow." That's why this moment, right now, is special. Because you have something no generation before you had. You can practice with a tool that answers instantly, that listens to your questions, that teaches you how to sound more natural, that shows you how to grow faster, and all you need is the courage. To begin, just type one sentence, ask one question, speak one phrase, say one new idea, and keep going. That's it. You don't need to know everything today. You just need to do something today. Even if it's this: "Hello, I want to learn. Please help me speak better." That's enough. That's a beginning. That's how all confidence begins, with honesty. And from there, every small step becomes a victory. So don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yesterday you. If today you spoke one sentence, and yesterday you stayed silent, you're already winning. If today you wrote one line in English, and last week you were too afraid, you're already moving forward. If today you used AI to check your message, and last month you were guessing, you're already stronger. This is your journey, no one else's. And the only person you need to impress is the future version of yourself, the version who thanks you, the version who smiles and says, "You didn't quit. You didn't stay small. You didn't keep your voice hidden. You grew, and now, look at you." Let's talk about something that almost no one talks about when it comes to learning English, and that's healing. Because for many people, English is not just a subject. It's a memory of being corrected, of feeling ashamed, of being laughed at, of sitting in a classroom feeling confused while others seem to understand so easily, of wanting to speak, but staying silent because your mouth felt too heavy. And over time, that memory becomes a story we tell ourselves. "I'm not a language person. I'm too old now. I can understand, but I'll never speak well. I'm just not confident." But those aren't facts. They're just stories. And the beautiful thing about stories is that we can rewrite them. We can say, "Yes, I was afraid before, but now I'm practicing. Yes, I used to freeze in conversations, but now I'm trying again. Yes, I forgot words in the past, but now I'm learning smarter, not harder." And how do we rewrite that story? We start with small victories, not big exams, not certificates, not fancy speeches. Small, quiet wins, like saying hello confidently to a stranger, sending one email in English without second-guessing, understanding one full sentence, in a video without subtitles, practicing a full conversation with AI and not giving up halfway, writing your thoughts in English and feeling proud, even if it's short, explaining something simple, like your morning routine, without stopping. Those moments, they matter. They're proof that you're not frozen anymore. You're moving, and movement creates growth, and growth heals what shame tried to break. So if English has ever made you feel small, this is your reminder. You are not small. You are learning a global language. You are doing something brave. You are facing a fear, not running from it. And every time you open your mouth or your heart, you reclaim your power. Now let's talk about how AI fits into this. Because unlike some teachers, AI doesn't roll its eyes. It doesn't sigh. It doesn't mark you wrong with a red pen. It doesn't say, "You should know this by now." Instead, it says, "Here's a better way to say that. Want to try again? Let's practice together. I believe you can do this." And that's how healing begins. Not with pressure, but with permission. The permission to make mistakes, to sound silly, to be a beginner, again and again. And that's where your freedom begins too. Because once you stop fearing mistakes, you start learning fast. You start speaking more. You start experimenting. You start smiling when you talk and instead of shrinking. You start trusting your voice. And that voice, it doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be honest. Because in the future, in the world of AI, fast jobs, global teams, digital life, what we need most is people who can speak with clarity and care. People who know how to say, "Yes, I made a mistake, but here's what I learned. Let me try again. I don't know the word for this, but I'll describe it. I may speak slowly, but I listen deeply. My English is not perfect, but my message is clear." That's real power. So here's your mission today. If you choose to accept it, write your small victory list right now. On paper, in your phone, in your mind. Write the first full English sentence you ever said. The time you answered a question in class, even if your voice shook. The message you wrote and sent, without asking someone to check it. The podcast you listened to and understood the main idea. The video you watched and learned a new word. The time you translated for a family member. The AI prompt you wrote and got a useful answer. Those are not just moments. They are milestones. Tiny bricks in the big wall of your confidence. And when you stack enough of those bricks, you build something strong, something solid, something unshakable. You build you, the real you, the version of you who speaks with ease, who writes clearly, who uses English not just to pass, but to express, to connect, to inspire, to lead. And that version is already waking up inside you. Now let's go deeper. There's something else that happens when you learn how to use English with AI. Something more than just success. Something called self-respect. Because every time you open your tool and say, "Help me write this message better. Can you correct my tone? Make this sound more professional." You're not just improving your words. You're honoring your worth. You're saying, "My message matters. My voice matters. My future matters." And I want to say it clearly. That is a high form of self-respect, and it grows with each step you take, each phrase you learn, each question you dare to ask. So if you ever feel lost or tired or discouraged, come back to this. You are not just learning English. You are learning how to speak for yourself, to show up, to stand tall, to rise. And with AI by your side, you're not doing it alone. You have a partner, a guide, a practice friend who never gives up on you. And you, my friend, are worth that kind of support. So let's end this part with a simple reflection. Take a breath. Put your hand over your heart and say this slowly, like you mean it. I am allowed to learn at my own pace. I do not need to compare myself to others. I am getting better every day. I am proud of myself. even for small steps. I am learning to believe in my voice again, and I will not stop, because you don't have to be fluent to be powerful. You just have to be honest, brave, and consistent. And if you keep practicing with your heart open and your tools ready, your future will be more than successful. It will be meaningful. It will be yours. And it will be something you're proud to speak about in any language. Let's talk about something beautiful that happens quietly when you grow. As you improve your English, your confidence, your ability to speak with AI, and your ability to explain yourself, something shifts. You don't just change your life. You start changing the lives of people around you. Maybe it's your child, watching you speak English without fear. Maybe it's your younger sibling, hearing you practice with AI every night. Maybe it's a friend who's shy, but sees you trying again and thinks, if she can do it, maybe I can too. Maybe it's a coworker who starts asking you questions because now you sound sure of yourself. You become something powerful, a role model. And that's not something you have to announce. You don't need a stage. You don't need a microphone. You don't need a certificate. You just need to show up and speak with purpose. Because when people see you practicing, even when you're tired, when they hear your voice growing stronger, when they see you using tools like AI to keep learning, they feel something wake up in them. Hope, possibility, courage. You're not just learning English anymore. You're leading quietly. And in this noisy world, quiet leadership is rare and needed. So if you've ever thought, why am I even doing this? It's so slow. Does it really matter if I speak better English? Who's even watching? Me. Let me tell you, someone younger, someone quieter, someone struggling with the same fears you once had. And they're watching you rise, step by step. So keep going, not just for yourself, but for the silent learners around. You, the ones who haven't found their voice yet, but will, because you used yours first. Now let's talk about how to be that kind of role model in small, daily ways. It starts with consistency, not perfection, not long hours, not fancy words, just showing up every day with one small action. Here's what that could look like. You record yourself speaking English once a week, even if it's only 30 seconds. You write one journal entry in English, even if it's just 3 lines. You send one English message a week, to your teacher, to your manager, to a customer. You teach one new word to someone in your family just by using it in a sentence. You practice one AI conversation and share your new phrase with someone else. These are small actions, but they create big waves because someone sees you being brave, and they start to believe bravery is possible for them too. You don't need to say, "Look at me." You just need to be the example. Now, let's be real. There will be days when you're tired, when you feel like skipping your practice, when you tell yourself, it doesn't matter today. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe one skipped day isn't a problem. But what happens next is what matters. Do you come back? Do you pick up where you left off? Do you forgive yourself and keep going? Because that's the difference between a learner who gives up and a learner who grows up. You will get tired. You will feel stuck sometimes. But you will return. That's what makes you strong, and that's what others will remember. Not how fast you improved, but how faithfully you came back again and again. So when the tired days come, here's what you can do. Just take 5 minutes, that's all. Open your AI tool. Type a sentence like, "I feel tired today, but I want to practice something short." Ask it to help you with one phrase, one sentence, one reply, and call it a win. Because small actions on hard days are stronger than big actions on easy days. Let me repeat that for you. Small actions on hard days are stronger than big actions on easy days. That's where your real progress lives. And over time, people around you will notice that too. They'll say, "You never gave up. You always tried. You spoke even when your voice was shaking. You helped me believe I could try too." That's what leadership looks like. That's what inspiration sounds like. And that's what this world needs more of. People who try. People who grow. People who lift others. Not by shouting, but by showing. And here's one more truth. Sometimes your English practice won't feel exciting. It won't feel fast. It won't feel impressive. But every single time you open that tool, every time you repeat a phrase, every time you fix a sentence or write a better reply, you are teaching yourself something deeper. You are teaching yourself to finish what you start, and that lesson will follow you into everything you do. It will help you show up at work. It will help you commit to your health. It will help you stay calm in tough conversations. It will help you lead your family with clarity. It will help you build dreams that actually last. Because when you train your brain to return to growth, you become someone the future can trust. Not just someone who knows English, but someone who knows how to keep going. That's what AI can never replace. That inner voice. That inner will. That choice you make every day to keep moving, even when no one's clapping. So here's a new challenge for you. In the next 24 hours, do one thing in English, not for progress, not for speed, but to honor your journey. That could mean typing a message to your future self saying, "I'm proud of how far you've come," helping a friend write one English sentence, asking AI for 3 ways to say thank you and using them on people in your life, recording your voice saying, "I speak English every day and I'm improving." Whatever it is, make it meaningful. Because your learning path is not just about reaching a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who keeps choosing growth, even when no one is watching. And one day, you'll look around and see the impact. Your kids speaking more clearly, your coworkers asking for your help, your younger siblings copying your courage, your own reflection smiling back saying, "We really did it," and you'll say yes. We really did. Now let's talk about what really keeps your progress alive, not just for a few weeks, but for life. It's not motivation. It's not a perfect learning plan. It's not watching 100 English videos. It's this: a sustainable rhythm. Because without rhythm, learning becomes random. And without rhythm, you will always start and stop and feel stuck again. So what is rhythm? Rhythm means finding a natural, realistic way to make English and AI part of your everyday life, without stress, without pressure, and without burnout. It's not about how long you study. It's about how often you return. A good rhythm feels like a quiet habit, like brushing your teeth, like drinking water, like checking your messages. And yes, you can make English feel like that. Let me show you how. You don't need 2 hours a day. You don't even need 1 hour. What you need is tiny moments of daily connection. Let me give you a sample routine. Morning, 3 to 5 minutes. Open your AI tool. Type, "Good morning. Let's have a short conversation about today's weather." Practice 1 or 2 sentences. Ask, "Can you correct my grammar?" Repeat the improved version. Smile. Now you've spoken English before your day even begins. Midday, 5 to 10 minutes. Think of something you need to do. Write a to-do list in English. Ask AI to make it clearer or more polite. Read it aloud once. Ask, "Can you give me a motivational sentence to stay focused today?" Now you're using English to organize your life. Evening, 10-15 minutes. Write a short reflection. Today, I learned, I want to improve. Ask AI, "Please improve this writing and make it more natural." Practice saying the improved version aloud. Finish with, "Can you quiz me on 5 words I used today?" Now you've used English to process your day and grow your vocabulary. In just 20-30 minutes total, broken into small moments, you've practiced speaking, writing, listening, correcting, reflecting, and expanding, and none of it felt like studying. Because that's the point. The best learners in the AI generation will not be the ones who study the longest. They'll be the ones who live inside the language. They'll use English not just in class, but at the grocery store, at work, in emails, on voice messages, in goals, in decisions, in creative ideas. And now, with tools like AI, you have a learning partner that adapts to any situation. You don't have to wait until you're ready. You just begin with what's real. Want to learn how to say something at work? Type, "How do I say this better in English?" Want to reply to someone kindly? Ask, "Give me 3 polite ways to say this." Want to talk about a personal story? Type it out. Ask for corrections. Practice. This is not school anymore. This is life learning. And AI allows that learning to happen instantly. Anywhere. Anytime. In your style. At your pace. That's what makes it powerful. And sustainable. Because the truth is, traditional learning is hard to maintain. It's based on pressure. You feel guilty if you miss a day. You feel behind if you forget something. You feel ashamed if others seem better. But in this new way, the English plus AI way, you can forgive yourself faster. You just pick up where you left off. You return when you can. You celebrate small wins. And most of all, you enjoy it. And when you enjoy something, you keep doing it. Now let's talk about the most powerful shift you can make in your English learning. It's this, from studying English to using English. Let that sink in, because a lot of people spend years studying English. Books, flashcards, rules, lessons. But when it's time to speak in real life, they freeze, they forget, they feel blocked. Why? Because they were memorizing, not communicating. So here's how to change that. Every time you learn a new word or phrase, ask, "How can I use this today in real life?" Maybe in a message, maybe in a comment, maybe in a short talk to yourself, maybe with AI. Let me show you. You learn the word suggest. Ask AI, "Give me 3 polite ways to use suggest in work conversations." Now use one of those sentences when giving an idea. That's how you transfer knowledge into power. Because English is not a puzzle. It's a tool, and tools are meant to be used, not just admired. So the question becomes, how will you use your English today? Not for a test, not for perfection, but for connection. Use it to send a kind message, Use it to write down your dream. Use it to ask a smart question. Use it to learn one new thing with AI. Use it to help someone who's learning too. That's when English stops being a subject and becomes your skill. And with that skill, your confidence grows. And with that confidence, your career expands. And with that expansion, your future shifts, not someday. Now let's come back to AI and how to use it as a real conversation partner. Because the biggest challenge most learners face is speaking. You understand. You write okay. But speaking? It feels scary. Too fast. Too awkward. That's where AI becomes your safest place to speak. Because it never laughs at your mistakes, waits patiently for your answers, gives you better versions of your sentences, explains things in simple words, helps you speak again and again, without pressure. So here's a speaking routine you can start. Daily conversation practice. Type, "Let's have a 2-minute friendly chat in English. Please correct me after each response." Then speak. Type. Repeat. Scenario role play. Type, "Pretend to be a hotel receptionist. I'm the guest. Let's practice a short dialogue." Then speak both parts aloud. Practice fluency. Emotional check-in. Type, "I want to express my feelings today. Here's what I'm thinking." Then ask, "Please help me say this in clearer English." Now read it aloud. Own your emotions. In English. Career simulation type. Let's practice an interview for a customer service job. Answer. Questions. Ask for feedback. Improve your confidence. Evening reflection. Type, "Here's what I did today." Ask, "Can you make this a short, natural story in English?" Read it. Record yourself. Grow daily fluency. With these 5 types of practice, your speaking improves from the inside out. Not just with words, but with meaning, with memory, with feeling. And best of all, you do it without shame, because this is your space, your growth, your voice. And every time you speak, no matter how it sounds, you get one step closer to the version of you that speaks without fear. That version exists. You've heard them in your mind. Now it's time to become them, and you will, one brave sentence at a time. Let's talk now about something many people dream of, but quietly hold back from: opportunities. We all want more of them. Better jobs, more income, global connection, freedom to travel, freedom to apply for work from anywhere, freedom to speak without fear. But here's the thing. Opportunities don't just knock on your door. You prepare for them. You become the kind of person who's ready, because when you're ready and opportunity shows up, you don't say, "Oh no, I can't." You say, "Yes, I've been preparing for this." And how do you prepare? By practicing your voice, by refining your message, by learning how to express your ideas in a way that others can understand, trust, and believe. And right now, your most powerful preparation tool is this: writing and speaking clearly in English with the help of AI. Let me show you what that looks like. Imagine this. You find a remote job online. It says, "Must have clear communication skills in English. Must be confident with email, chat, and virtual meetings." Now, the old you might say, "I'm not fluent. I'll skip it." But the new you open your AI tool. You type, "Help me write a confident job application email for this position." Then, "Please help me answer these interview questions with natural English." And then, Let's practice a short virtual interview conversation. You be the employer. I'll answer. You're not guessing anymore. You're rehearsing. You're not hoping for luck. You're training for readiness. That's how you get chosen. That's how you rise. That's how you move from watching others to joining them. Now let's go further. Maybe you want to start a business, or grow a small one you already have, or sell a product, or offer a service, or build a personal brand. Online English is your bridge to the world, and AI is your assistant. You can ask, "Can you help me write a short about me page in English? Give me 5 Instagram captions for this handmade jewelry. Help me write a polite reply to a customer asking for a refund." Translate this idea into natural English marketing language. What's a confident way to introduce myself in a video? You're not waiting for a team. You're building your dream, one sentence at a time. And the best part? Every single thing you create in English also builds your skills. It's not wasted. It's double growth. It helps your business and strengthens your fluency. That's smart learning. That's real progress. Now let's say your goal is not business. Maybe you just want to express yourself, to share your ideas, to feel more confident when you speak to others, to stop freezing during meetings, to stop avoiding conversations, to belong. That's a powerful goal, too. And you don't need a stage or a big audience. You can start with something as simple as this. Each week, write one short paragraph in English. Call it My Weekly Thought. It could be about your life, your work, your belief, a book you read, something you learned. Then ask AI. Please check this and make it smoother, but keep my natural voice. You read the improved version. You speak it out loud. You feel your own words, becoming stronger. Then you take one more step. You record your voice. You say, "This is me. This is my voice. This is my English, and I'm not hiding anymore." Even if you never share it, you've done something powerful. You've started honoring your voice, not someone else's voice, yours. And that's where confidence begins, not in being perfect, but in being present. Now let's talk about what happens when you're finally ready to share. Maybe you want to post a video, start a podcast, write blog posts, comment in English groups, teach others what you've learned, or just speak up more in your work team. That takes a new kind of bravery, because it's no longer just about learning English. It's about letting the world hear you, and that's where many people stop. They say, "What if I sound wrong? What if I embarrass myself? What if no one listens?" But here's what I want you to know. Yes, some people might not understand you. Yes, you might make a few awkward videos. Yes, your first posts might not be perfect. But someone out there is waiting for your voice. And they don't need you to sound perfect. They just need you to sound real. Real people don't care about grammar. They care about connection. They care about feeling inspired. They care about honesty. So if you've been thinking of creating, now is the time. Here's how to begin. Write a short story about your English journey. Ask AI to improve it while keeping your style. Record yourself reading it aloud. Post it, if you feel ready, or save it just for you. Repeat weekly. You're not just practicing, you're becoming visible, becoming expressive, becoming more of you. And here's what I promise. If you keep going, one sentence at a time, one post at a time, one voice message at a time, people will notice. They'll say, "I love your confidence. I respect your effort. Thank you for sharing. You helped me try, too." Because the moment you stop hiding, you start leading, not loudly, not perfectly, but clearly. And clear is what the world needs now, especially in this age of AI, where everything is fast, automated, and robotic. Your human voice will always stand out. So don't wait for permission. Give yourself permission now to speak, to share, to post, to grow. Use AI as your mirror, your editor, your practice partner, your helper. But let your heart lead the message, because tools are powerful, but you are the voice that brings them to life. And that voice? It's ready now. Let's pause now and ask something important. What does freedom mean to you? For some, it's the freedom to choose their job. For others, it's the freedom to travel. For some, it's the freedom to work from home or start something of their own. And for many, it's simply the freedom to speak without fear, to express an idea, to explain a feeling, to be understood, not just in your native language, but in English. Because in this new world, where AI tools are everywhere and opportunities are global, English is the language of freedom. And if you can use English even at a basic level with the support of AI, you unlock doors that weren't open before. Let's look at what that freedom actually feels like. It's the freedom to send your resume without needing help. The freedom to talk to your child's teacher in English and be taken seriously. The freedom to sell something online with a description that sounds professional. The freedom to speak up in a team meeting and have your idea accepted. The freedom to write your own story, your own way, in your own voice. It's not about being fluent. It's about being able to move freely in the world. That's what we're building. Not just language, but mobility, possibility, peace of mind, and, yes, the journey to that freedom has hard days. You will feel stuck. You will doubt yourself. You will feel like your mouth can't keep up with your mind. So let's talk about those moments. Let's talk about doubt. Because no matter how good your AI is, no matter how clear your English becomes, there will still be days when you think, I'm not improving fast enough. Everyone else speaks better. What if I never feel natural? Am I wasting my time? These thoughts are normal, but they are not true. Doubt is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're doing something important, because people don't doubt things that don't matter. We only doubt when we care, and you care about your voice. You care about your future. You care about getting it right, so here's how you stay strong when doubt whispers. Track small wins. Every sentence you understood, every phrase you wrote, every time you didn't freeze, every time you tried, even a little. Write them down. Look back at them often. They are your evidence. Ask AI to show you your growth. Yes, you can actually ask, how has my English improved in the past month based on our chats? Or, here are 5 sentences I wrote last month. Can you rewrite them to show the difference between then and now? Let the AI reflect your growth back to you. Speak to your future self. Open your notebook or voice recorder. Say, Dear future me, I know you're confident now. I know you can speak freely. I want you to remember that I kept going, even when I didn't believe in myself. That's not a silly exercise. That's building a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. And if you ever feel like quitting, just return to 1. Small practice, open AI and say, I feel discouraged today. Can we just do a simple conversation to keep me going? And you will have already won, because the victory is in showing up. Now let's talk about how to build your own system so you never get lost again. Because life gets busy. Plans fall apart. We forget. But a system helps you return, even when you feel lost. So here's how to build your personal English AI growth system. Step 1. Your weekly schedule set. 3. Simple slots per week. No pressure. Example. Monday. Write one short paragraph about your life. Ask AI to improve it. Read it aloud. Wednesday. Role play. A conversation with AI about a real situation. Work, family, shopping. Friday. Record yourself speaking. Ask AI for feedback. Save it. That's it. Just 3 moments. Short, simple, repeatable. If you want to do more, great. But this is your minimum rhythm. Step 2. Your monthly goal each month. Set one small target. Examples. Learn. And use 30 new words in real conversations. Practice 4. Job interview questions. Write and record 2 short stories. Improve your tone in email writing. Create a mini podcast script with AI and read it aloud. Not for perfection, just for practice. Write your goal down. Ask AI to help you stay on track. Even say, "Remind me weekly how I'm doing on my goal." Now your growth has structure. Step 3. Your feedback. Folder. Keep a folder. On your phone, on paper, in Google Docs. Title it, My English Growth. Each week, save. Corrected sentences, vocabulary examples, audio notes you recorded, AI messages that made you feel good, notes to your future self. This is your mirror. Look at it when doubt shows up. It will remind you you're not lost. You're learning. You're getting stronger, piece by piece. And one day, you'll scroll through it with a smile. You'll say, "I can't believe I used to struggle with that word. Now I use it without thinking." That's real confidence. That's earned growth. And that's how you move forward, with clarity, consistency, and joy. Because this journey doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to feel heavy. It can be soft. It can be yours. It can be filled with grace and laughter and healing. You are not too late. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And with your own system and a smart partner like AI, you will never be alone in this again. Let's talk about a moment that scares so many people. The moment someone says, "Can you introduce yourself?" Or, "Could you speak a little about your idea?" Or, "Would you like to say a few words?" And suddenly, your heart races. Your mind goes blank. Your tongue feels stuck. Even if you know what to say in your native language. In English, you freeze. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to become a public speaker. You don't need to memorize a perfect script. You just need a calm, clear voice and the courage to use it. And that starts with preparation. Not the kind that makes you feel pressured, but the kind that builds quiet confidence, one phrase at a time. Let's begin with the most important English-speaking moment, introducing yourself. This one sentence, "Tell me about yourself," appears in job interviews, meetings, online, calls, and even daily conversations. And here's the secret. You don't need to explain your whole life. You just need 3 things: who you are, what you do or love, what you're working toward. Let's try it. "Hi, I'm Lena. I work in customer service and I'm passionate about helping people feel supported. Right now, I'm also learning English to grow my opportunities and speak more confidently in my job." That's it. It's honest. It's natural. It shows effort and warmth. Now imagine preparing 2 to 3 short versions of that for different situations. One for work, one for casual conversations, one for video introductions. And here's where AI helps. You can type, "Please help me write a short self-introduction for a job interview," or, "Can you rewrite this to sound more confident but still friendly?" Or, "Help me shorten this into one clear sentence." Now you're not practicing randomly. You're refining with a partner. You're making your words fit you. And the more you repeat that version, the more it becomes yours. Your rhythm, your tone, your voice. So when someone asks, "Can you introduce yourself?" you don't panic. You pause. You breathe. And you speak with calmness. Now let's go one step further. Let's talk about sharing your ideas. Maybe it's a Zoom call. Maybe it's a group chat. Maybe it's a post on LinkedIn or Facebook. Maybe it's a comment in an online course. Or maybe it's just replying to a voice message. These are all speaking moments, even if you're typing. And most people stay silent, not because they don't have thoughts, but because they don't feel sure how to say them in English. But here's a new way to practice. Instead of waiting for the perfect sentence in your head, start with what you already know. Then open your AI tool and say, "This is what I want to express. Can you help me say it more naturally?" For example, you want to say, "I think the presentation was good but maybe too long." Ask AI, "Make this sound more polite and professional." And AI might give you, "I really appreciated the presentation. I found the content valuable, though I think shortening it slightly could help keep the audience more engaged." You read it. You repeat it. You practice saying it aloud. And now, you've learned how to share feedback in English, the respectful way. You're not just learning grammar. You're learning how to show up. Now imagine doing that every week. One message, one idea, one post, one reply. You're training your brain to speak not just correctly, but confidently. And little by little, your fear of speaking melts away. You become someone who replies to emails with calm energy, speaks up in calls without stress, leaves comments that people appreciate, asks questions in meetings, starts small conversations online, shares your opinion, clearly and kindly. This is not far away. You can begin this week. Just choose one moment, a group message, a voice reply, a comment on someone's video, a short video for your own page, a 20-second audio practice session for yourself. Use AI to shape your sentence, say it with emotion, and feel the fear getting smaller. Because here's something people never tell you: confidence is not something you are born with. It's something you practice into existence. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. If you say, "I will practice one English sentence today," and then you do it, that's confidence. If you say, "I will share one idea in my next team call," and then you prepare and try and speak, that's confidence. Confidence is not loud. It's consistent. It's built in the quiet. So if you still feel nervous, that's okay. Keep showing up anyway. Let's talk about how to stay calm when it's time to speak English in front of others. Try this 3-step method. Step 1. Anchor your breath. Before speaking, take one breath in through your nose, then out through your mouth. Say in your mind, "I am safe, I am prepared, I speak clearly." Let that become your calm signal. Step 2. Slow your first sentence. Start slower than normal. This gives your brain time to relax. It also shows confidence. Rushing feels nervous. Calm pace feels clear. Step 3. End with a smile. Even if your sentence wasn't perfect. Even if you paused. even if your grammar wasn't great. Smile, because the most powerful message is not what you said. It's how you said it. If you spoke with courage, that's all people remember. And with AI, you can rehearse every speaking situation in advance. Job interview? Ask AI to pretend to be the interviewer. Giving a presentation? Type, "Here's my main point. Can you help me say it clearly?" Answering a question in class or at work? Type, "How can I respond to this professionally but simply?" You are never unprepared again. Now, you always have a quiet space to rehearse, a mirror that helps you grow, and that mirror says, "You're doing better than you think." Let's pause now and ask something important. What does freedom mean to you? For some, it's the freedom to choose their job. For others, it's the freedom to travel. For some, it's the freedom to work from home or start something of their own. And for many, it's simply the freedom to speak without fear, to express an idea, to explain a feeling, to be understood, not just in your native language, but in English. Because in this new world, where AI tools are everywhere and opportunities are global, English is the language of freedom. And if you can use English even at a basic level with the support of AI, you unlock doors that weren't open before. Let's look at what that freedom actually feels like. It's the freedom to send your resume without needing help. The freedom to talk to your child's teacher in English and be taken seriously. The freedom to sell something online with a description that sounds professional. The freedom to speak up in a team meeting and have your idea accepted. The freedom to write your own story, your own way, in your own voice. It's not about being fluent. It's about being able to move freely in the world. That's what we're building. Not just language, but mobility, possibility, peace of mind, and, yes, the journey to that freedom has hard days. You will feel stuck. You will doubt yourself. You will feel like your mouth can't keep up with your mind. So let's talk about those moments. Let's talk about doubt, because no matter how good your AI is, no matter how clear your English becomes, there will still be days when you think, "I'm not improving fast enough. Everyone else speaks better. What if I never feel natural? Am I wasting my time?" These thoughts are normal, but they are not true. Doubt is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're doing something important, because people don't doubt things that don't matter. We only doubt when we care. And you care about your voice. You care about your future. You care about getting it right, so here's how you stay strong when doubt whispers. Track small wins. Every sentence you understood. Every phrase you wrote. Every time you didn't freeze. Every time you tried. Even a little. Write them down. Look back at them often. They are your evidence. Ask AI to show you your growth. Yes, you can actually ask, "How has my English improved in the past month based on our chats?" Or, "Here are 5 sentences I wrote last month. Can you rewrite them to show the difference between then and now?" Let the AI reflect your growth back to you. Speak to your future self. Open your notebook or voice recorder. Say, "Dear future me, I know you're confident now. I know you can speak freely. I want you to remember that I kept going, even when I didn't believe in myself." That's not a silly exercise. That's building a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. And if you ever feel like quitting, just return to one small practice. Open AI and say, "I feel discouraged today. Can we just do a simple conversation to keep me going?" And you will have already won, because the victory is in showing up. Now let's talk about how to build your own system. So you never get lost again, because life gets busy. Plans fall apart. We forget. But a system helps you return, even when you feel lost. So here's how to build your personal English AI growth system. Step 1. Your weekly schedule set. 3 simple slots per week. No pressure. Example. Monday. Write 1 short paragraph about your life. Ask AI to improve it. Read it aloud. Wednesday. Role play. A conversation with AI about a real situation. Work, family, shopping. Friday. Record yourself speaking. Ask AI for feedback. Save it. That's it. Just 3 moments. Short, simple, repeatable. If you want to do more, great, but this is your minimum rhythm. Step 2. Your monthly goal each month. Set 1 small target. Examples. Learn. And use 30 new words in real conversations. Practice 4. Job interview questions. Write and record 2 short stories. Improve your tone in email writing. Create a mini podcast script with AI and read it aloud. Not for perfection, just for practice. Write your goal down. Ask AI to help you stay on track. Even say, "Remind me weekly how I'm doing on my goal." Now your growth has structure. Step 3. Your feedback. Folder. Keep a folder. On your phone, on paper, in Google Docs. Title it, My English Growth. Each week, save corrected sentences, vocabulary examples, audio notes you recorded. AI messages that made you feel good. Notes to your future self. This is your mirror. Look at it when doubt shows up. It will remind you you're not lost. You're learning. You're getting stronger, piece by piece. And one day, you'll scroll through it with a smile. You'll say, "I can't believe I used to struggle with that word. Now I use it without thinking." That's real confidence. That's earned growth. And that's how you move forward with clarity, consistency, and joy. Because this journey doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to feel heavy. It can be soft. It can be yours. It can be filled with grace and laughter and healing. You are not too late. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you need to be, and with your own system and a smart partner like AI, you will never be alone in this again. Let's talk about a moment that scares so many people. The moment someone says, "Can you introduce yourself?" Or, "Could you speak a little about your idea?" Or, "Would you like to say a few words?" And suddenly, your heart races. Your mind goes blank. Your tongue feels stuck. Even if you know what to say in your native language, in English, you freeze. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to become a public speaker. You don't need to memorize a perfect script. You just need a calm, clear voice and the courage to use it. And that starts with preparation, not the kind that makes you feel pressured, but the kind that builds quiet confidence, 1 phrase at a time. Let's begin with the most important English-speaking moment, introducing yourself. This 1 sentence, "Tell me about yourself," appears in job interviews, meetings, online calls, and even daily conversations. And here's the secret. You don't need to explain your whole life. You just need 3 things: who you are, what you do or love, what you're working toward. Let's try it. Hi, I'm Lena. I work in customer service and I'm passionate about helping people feel supported. Right now, I'm also learning English to grow my opportunities and speak more confidently in my job. That's it. It's honest. It's natural. It shows effort and warmth. Now imagine preparing 2 to 3 short versions of that. for different situations. One for work, one for casual conversations, one for video introductions. And here's where AI helps. You can type, "Please help me write a short self-introduction for a job interview." Or, "Can you rewrite this to sound more confident, but still friendly?" Or, "Help me shorten this into one clear sentence." Now you're not practicing randomly. You're refining with a partner. You're making your words fit you. And the more you repeat that version, the more it becomes yours. Your rhythm, your tone, your voice. So when someone asks, "Can you introduce yourself?" you don't panic. You pause, you breathe, and you speak with calmness. Now let's go one step further. Let's talk about sharing your ideas. Maybe it's a Zoom call, maybe it's a group chat, maybe it's a post on LinkedIn or Facebook, maybe it's a comment in an online course, or maybe it's just replying to a voice message. These are all speaking moments, even if you're typing, and most people stay silent. Not because they don't have thoughts, but because they don't feel sure how to say them in English. But here's a new way to practice. Instead of waiting for the perfect sentence in your head, start with what you already know. Then open your AI tool and say, "This is what I want to express. Can you help me say it more naturally?" For example, you want to say, "I think the presentation was good, but maybe too long." Ask AI, "Make this sound more polite and professional." And AI might give you, "I really appreciated the presentation. I found the content valuable, though I think shortening it slightly could help keep the audience more engaged." You read it. You repeat it. You practice saying it aloud. And now, you've learned how to share feedback in English, the respectful way. You're not just learning grammar. You're learning how to show up. Now imagine doing that every week. One message, one idea, one post, one reply. You're training your brain to speak not just correctly, but confidently. And little by little, your fear of speaking melts away. You become someone who replies to emails with calm energy, speaks up in calls without stress, leaves comments that people appreciate, asks questions in meetings, starts small conversations online, shares your opinion clearly and kindly. This is not far away. You can begin this week. Just choose one moment, a group message, a voice reply, a comment on someone's video, a short video for your own page, a 20-second audio practice session for yourself. Use AI to shape your sentence. Say it with emotion, and feel the fear getting smaller. Because here's something people never tell you: confidence is not something you are born with. It's something you practice into existence. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. If you say, "I will practice one English sentence today," and then you do it, that's confidence. If you say, "I will share one idea in my next team call," and then you prepare and try and speak, that's confidence. Confidence is not loud. It's consistent. It's built in the quiet. So if you still feel nervous, that's okay. Keep showing up anyway. Let's talk about how to stay calm when it's time to speak English in front of others. Try this 3-step method. Step 1. Anchor your breath. Before speaking, take one breath in through your nose, then out through your mouth. Say in your mind, "I am safe, I am prepared, I speak clearly." Let that become your calm signal. Step 2. Slow your first sentence. Start slower than normal. This gives your brain time to relax. It also shows confidence. Rushing feels nervous. Calm pace feels clear. Step 3, end with a smile. Even if your sentence wasn't perfect, even if you paused, even if your grammar wasn't great. Smile. Because the most powerful message is not what you said. It's how you said it. If you spoke with courage, that's all people remember. And with AI, you can rehearse every speaking situation in advance. Job interview? Ask AI to pretend to be the interviewer, giving a presentation. Type, "Here's my main point. Can you help me say it clearly?" Answering a question in class or at tea. Work. Type, "How can I respond to this professionally but simply?" You are never unprepared again. Now you always have a quiet space to rehearse, a mirror that helps you grow, and that mirror says, "You're doing better than you think." Let's pause now. Not to stop, but to breathe in everything we've talked about. You came here because something inside you said, "I want to be better. I want to speak freely. I want to grow." And look how far you've come, not just in words, but in understanding. You now know that English is not just a school subject. It's a life skill. It's a door. It's a bridge to the AA future. You now see that AI is not just technology. It's a partner, a quiet guide, a mirror that reflects your effort. You understand that this journey is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about being prepared. And it's about believing that your voice matters, because it does. Your voice, even if it shakes, even if it's slow, even if it's unsure, it still carries something only you can share. Your story, your truth, your kindness, your vision, your energy. And when you add English to your voice, you give yourself a global stage. You can speak to anyone, anywhere, anytime, about anything. That's not just language. That's power. But more than power, it's freedom. Freedom to apply. Freedom to connect. Freedom to reply. Freedom to teach. Freedom to build. Freedom to lead. This is what you've been preparing for all along. Not just to pass a test, but to pass a limit. The old limit that said, "You're not good enough. You're too late. You don't sound right. You'll never catch up." Today, that limit ends. Because now you have the tools. Now you have the path. Now you have the proof. You've written your thoughts. You've spoken your practice. You've corrected your mistakes. You've grown your voice. You've shown up again and again, and now you're ready to step forward. So what happens next? That part is up to you. You could go back to old habits, or you could begin your new routine. Today, you could hide your voice again, or you could post your first short English story, or record your first 30-second audio, or apply for that opportunity, or answer that email with pride, or simply say, "Hi, I'm still learning, but I'm ready to speak." You could wait for someone to tell you, "Now is the time," or you could realize, "This is the time, right now." Let me give you one last story. There was a young man who worked at a print shop. He folded flyers all day, quietly, hands moving fast, head down. His English was very basic, but every evening he practiced one phrase. Just one. Sometimes it was, "How was your day?" Sometimes it was, "Could you explain that again, please?" Sometimes it was, "I believe I can learn more." He practiced those lines with AI, alone, silently, faithfully. One day, a customer came in, a foreigner. No one in the shop spoke English, but this young man looked up and said, "Can I help you with that?" His voice shook. His accent was thick. But his message? Clear. The customer smiled, said yes, and after that moment, everything changed. The manager noticed. The team respected him, and more customers began asking for him directly because of one line, because of one voice that refused to stay silent. And that voice could be yours. Not just in a shop, not just online, not just at work, but anywhere people are searching for someone real, someone thoughtful, someone who knows how to speak clearly, even if quietly. So let me leave you with this. Your English doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to express you, your questions, your kindness, your effort, your truth. And AI doesn't replace your voice. It supports your voice. It strengthens your rhythm. It helps you prepare. It helps you believe. But you are the power behind it. You are the reason someone else might speak tomorrow. You are the reason your child might grow up brave. You are the reason your team might listen more closely. You are the reason your future begins now. So, speak slowly if you need to. Speak simply if that's all you can. Speak with pauses, mistakes, and hesitation. But please, keep speaking, because the world needs voices like yours. Not perfect ones, not loud ones, real ones. And yours is already enough. Thank you for listening to this episode. You've just completed a full journey into the real power of English and AI, and what they can do for your life, your job, your confidence, and your freedom. Keep practicing. Keep asking questions. Keep showing up. You've got this. Now that you know what's possible, let's talk about how to keep going. Because learning a language, even with AI, isn't just about speed. It's about rhythm. It's about consistency. And most of all, it's about identity. You see, people who succeed in English long-term aren't the ones who study for hours every weekend. They're the ones who touch the language every day, even for 5 minutes. And they don't just practice English. They begin to see themselves as someone who speaks English. That's the difference. Not just a student, not just a beginner, not someone who's trying, but someone who already is, already using it, already showing up, already making it part of daily life. So how do you do that? You build an English identity, not fake, not forced, just one quiet belief that grows stronger each time you say, "This is what I do now. I'm someone who practices English. It's part of who I am becoming." And when that identity takes root, you don't need motivation anymore. You need reminders, simple habits, small routines, tiny wins that add up like water filling a jar, drop by drop. So let me help you. Create your long-term system now. You don't need apps. You don't need a teacher. You don't need big plans. You need something that fits you. Let's call it your weekly English rhythm. Here's an example. Monday, message day. Write a short message in English to a friend, a coworker, yourself. Ask AI, "Can you make this more natural?" Then send it or save it, but speak through it. Tuesday, vocabulary day. Choose 3 new words from something real. A video, a conversation, a label, a task. Ask AI, "Can you give me 2 example sentences for each?" Say them out loud. Use at least one that day, Wednesday. Speaking day, open AI. Type. Let's do a short speaking role play. Choose a real-life situation, at work, in a shop, in a meeting. Speak both sides if you want, but speak, even if it's just 2 minutes. Thursday, feedback day. write a paragraph, or record your voice. Ask AI, what's one thing I can improve? Then try again. Feel the difference. Friday, Celebration Day. Look back. What did you learn this week? Type it, say it, write it in your notebook. Tell AI, remind me next week how far I've come. Saturday or Sunday, free flow watch. A movie clip. Repeat the lines, write a reflection. Talk about your week. Let English feel soft again. Not pressure, just presence. That's it. You don't need to do everything every day. But when you have a rhythm, you don't have to think anymore. You just show up. One day at a time. Now, here's another tip that makes everything easier. Use English to organize your life. That means writing your to-do list in English, labeling your phone folders in English, asking AI to help write reminders, plans, and goals, talking to yourself in English while doing chores, because when English becomes part of your routine, not just your study time, it sticks faster. You stop thinking of it as something separate, and it becomes part of your brain's everyday thinking. That's when real fluency starts to grow. Not from books, but from living inside the language. Now let's address something else that happens on the long journey. There will be moments when you stop. Life gets busy. You miss a week. You feel like you're falling behind. You think, I've lost everything I built, but you haven't. Let me say it clearly. You don't lose fluency when you pause. You only lose momentum, and momentum can be rebuilt. In one single session, all it takes is one small win to return. One message sent, one conversation practiced, one post written, one question asked, one sentence spoken. That's enough. And you're back on the path. So don't be afraid of breaks. Just promise yourself, when I stop, I will return. That's the promise that keeps you growing. Now let me give you a powerful strategy for staying consistent forever. It's simple. Teach someone else. You don't need to be perfect to teach. You just need to care. Teach your child a new word. Explain a phrase to your coworker. Write a short post on social media about something you just learned. Tell your friend, here's how I said this politely today in English. When you teach, you remember more, you learn faster, and you stop being just a student. You become a guide. And the world always needs more guides, especially kind ones, patient ones who say, I understand how it feels to struggle. Let me help. And guess what? AI helps you teach too. You can ask, how can I explain this word to a beginner? What are 3 simple examples for the phrase, I'm on my way? Give me a fun way to help my child remember thank you. Now you're not just learning for yourself, you're building a bridge for someone else. That's purpose, that's power, that's what keeps your English alive. Not just for a year, but for life. So let's wrap this part with one important truth. You're not learning English just to get better at English. You're learning English to communicate with people, grow your work, share your message, be more independent, use technology smartly, teach and lead, live with more peace. This is about life, not just language. So every time you practice, remember the bigger picture. You're not just correcting a sentence. You're preparing your future self. You're giving yourself more options. You're creating more freedom. You're becoming someone who can speak clearly under pressure. And one day, you'll be the person who says, I remember when I was scared to say a full sentence. Now I lead whole conversations. And it will be true. Now let's take a step beyond language. Let's talk about the kind of person you're becoming. Because when you learn English this way, with purpose, with rhythm, with AI support, you're not just becoming someone who speaks more clearly, you're becoming someone who thinks globally, and that matters more than ever. The world we live in now is not the same world from 10 years ago. Work is not local. Learning is not limited. Opportunities are no longer locked to your city, your company, or your country. We are all connected. Meetings are online. Teams are global. Even small businesses are communicating with clients from other continents. And the one thing that connects everyone in this web? Clear English. Not perfect, not academic. Just clear, simple, kind, confident. So when you practice English every day, with AI or with your voice or on paper, you're actually training for more than just language. You're learning how to explain your ideas clearly, listen across cultures, ask better questions, speak across borders, build relationships with people you've never met. That's called global communication. And when you learn to do that, you become more than just a learner. You become a bridge, a person who connects ideas, people, cultures, and emotions through your words. Even if your vocabulary is small, even if you still pause sometimes, even if you forget grammar rules, you become someone who others trust because you speak with care. And that's what employers want. That's what customers want. That's what teams need. That's what the future is looking for. Not people who sound like a dictionary, but people who sound like humans. Now let me tell you what happens when you begin to trust your English. You stop second-guessing everything you say. You stop apologizing for how you sound. You stop comparing yourself to native speakers. And you start showing up. You begin emails without fear. You speak on calls without rushing. You explain things simply. You say, "I don't understand yet," without shame. You ask for what you need. You offer your ideas. You reply calmly. You listen better. You become present, not hiding, not running, not shrinking, but there, real, aware, ready. That's the goal. Not to be the best English speaker in the room, but to be the clearest communicator in the room. So how do you get there? How do you move from nervous to natural? Here's the shift. Stop asking, "Is this correct?" Start asking, "Did this express what I meant?" Stop saying, "My English isn't good." Start saying, "My message is clear." Because clarity is more valuable than complexity. And with AI, you now have the best tool for building that clarity. You can ask, "Is this email polite and clear? Can you simplify this explanation without losing the meaning? Help me make this message more friendly." What's another way to say this phrase for international communication? You're not just checking grammar. You're refining your voice, and that's what great communicators do. They improve not by speaking more, but by speaking with intention. And every time you do that, your confidence becomes quieter and stronger. You stop needing people to tell you, "Good job," because you already know, "I said what I needed to say. I prepared well. I used my voice with respect. I spoke with clarity and kindness." That's the kind of strength that stays with you, even on hard days. Now let's talk about something most learners never talk about. Peace. Yes, peace. Because once you stop chasing perfection, once you stop being afraid of small mistakes, once you start seeing your English grow, your thoughts flow, your AI sessions improve, you begin to feel something new inside. Not just excitement, not just pride, but peace. You feel calm in conversations. You feel relaxed when someone asks you to speak. You feel balanced when writing messages. You feel confident in video calls. You feel connected, even when speaking across time zones, accents, cultures. You feel at home in the global world, and that feeling, that's the real gift of English. Not just to get a better job, not just to pass an interview, not just to follow instructions, but to be part of the conversation, to be part of the solution, to be part of the now, because we're not waiting anymore. The future is already here, and you're not late. You're right on time. Let me say that again for you, just in case doubt is still whispering in the back of your mind. You're not late. You're right on time, and your English is not behind. It's blooming at the perfect pace for the person you're becoming. Now imagine your life a few months from now. You're answering emails smoothly. You're writing confidently. You're understanding instructions and explaining ideas. You're using AI to plan your day, create content, solve problems, or support others. You're not afraid of speaking anymore. You're not frozen when someone says, "Could you say that in English?" You just smile, pause, and begin. That's not a dream. That's a decision, and that decision can start today, right after this episode ends. Take one small action. Speak one sentence, write one message, open your AI tool and ask, "Help me say this better." And know, in that small moment, you are stepping forward. One sentence, one question, one reply. That's how every transformation begins. Let's take a deep breath now and imagine this. You've been walking your English journey quietly. You've been practicing, repeating, correcting. You've been whispering phrases, rewriting messages, listening, replaying, asking AI to make it a little better, again and again. And slowly, almost invisibly, something began to change. At first, it was just a sentence. Then it became a message, then a meeting, then a moment when you spoke clearly and didn't feel fear. And one day, you realized something simple and powerful. You trust your voice now, not because it's perfect, not because you've memorized thousands of words, but because it's yours, and you've earned every word of it. This is what happens when you choose to grow, without pressure, without shame, without rushing. Just honest, quiet, steady growth. One English moment at a time. So what happens next? Now. You get to share it. You've built your voice. Now you can use it to lift others. You might not be a teacher, you might not be an expert, but someone out there needs what you've learned. And here's how you can help. Starting right now, share a new phrase you practiced this week. Teach one person how to write a better message using AI. Encourage someone who feels stuck and tell them how you started. Show someone how to ask polite questions in English. Record a short voice message saying, "You can do this too." You see, when you speak to help others, your own English grows stronger, and even more than that, your heart expands. Because we don't just speak to perform, we speak to connect, to comfort, to guide, to remind someone else. I was there once, and look, we're still growing. This is how we all rise. Together. Now I want you to ask yourself something simple, but powerful. How do I want my English to feel from now on? Not just how it sounds, but how it feels inside. Do you want it to feel calm, confident, creative, free? Then start speaking from that feeling. Speak slowly, if that helps. Speak with quiet emotion. Speak with intention. Speak not to impress, but to express. You've learned so much on this journey, not just about tools and phrases and grammar, but about yourself. You've learned that showing up matters more than sounding smart. That small practice is more powerful than big pressure. That mistakes don't stop growth. They prove growth. that your voice deserves space, even when it feels unready, and that learning English with AI is not just about speed or success. It's about becoming the person you've always had inside you: brave, thoughtful, curious, capable. Now you know that English isn't the goal. It's the bridge between your current self and the opportunities you want. The version of you that can apply, lead, support, respond, teach, ask, answer with clarity, with peace, with heart. And the beautiful truth is, you never needed permission. You never had to wait. You were ready from the first moment you decided, I want to speak, I want to understand, I want to grow. That decision made everything possible. And now, you're here. So how do you keep this forever? You treat English like a companion, not a subject, not a test, not a burden, a companion, a voice you carry with you to help you explain yourself, to open doors, to connect with others, to understand the world, and to understand yourself. You don't abandon a companion when you're tired. You walk slowly together. You return when you can. You stay close. That's how you stay consistent, not through pressure, but through presence. So now, as we near the end of this journey together, I want to offer you one final practice. Create a new sentence that defines your relationship with English. Maybe it's, I speak English calmly and kindly, or English is the tool that helps me grow every day, or I use English to connect, to learn, and to lead, or I speak English slowly, but with confidence and truth. Whatever it is, make it yours. Write it down. Say it aloud. Save it. Live it. Because when your language has meaning, your growth has direction, and your direction is already forward. So here we are, the end of this episode. But not the end of your story, not the end of your English, not the end of what's possible. In fact, this may be the beginning of the most powerful chapter yet, because now you're not learning blindly. Now you understand how to move forward. Now you know how to use your tools, your time, your energy wisely. Now you carry something stronger than grammar. You carry belief. Belief in your progress. Belief in your ability to grow. Belief in your right to speak clearly and calmly, no matter your background, no matter your age, no matter your accent. Because you've seen it. You've seen what one sentence can do. You've seen what one honest conversation with AI can unlock. You've seen what happens when you stop hiding behind, I'm not ready yet, and start living like someone who's already becoming what they were meant to be. And what were you meant to be? Someone who connects, someone who leads, someone who learns, someone who creates calm, clear communication in a noisy, fast, and messy world. That's not just a goal, that's a gift, and it's already yours. You've earned it by showing up, by listening, by practicing, by trying again, especially when it wasn't easy. So let me ask you now, gently, with all the love in the world, can you feel it? That small, powerful truth inside you. I'm not stuck anymore. I know what to do. I can move forward. I can grow at my pace, in my style, with my tools, and I'm allowed to speak, not just fluently, but freely. Because this freedom, this confidence, this peace, it's not coming from a textbook. It's coming from you, from the part of you that refused to give up, from the part of you that believes learning should feel honest, from the part of you that doesn't need to be fast, only faithful. So now, as you move forward, I want to leave you with 5 final truths to carry in your heart. Let these be your new foundation, your English home. You don't need to sound perfect to sound powerful. Your voice already has value, even if it's slow, even if it's simple, even if it still feels awkward. What matters is that your voice is real, and real is what this world needs. So stop aiming for perfect. Aim for clear, kind, and true. AI is not your replacement. It's your amplifier. AI doesn't take your voice away. It helps you shape it. It helps you grow faster, learn smarter, and prepare better. Use it like a mirror, like a quiet coach, like a friend who shows you what's possible, but still lets you lead. AI is not the magic. You are. Progress is never lost. It only rests. You will take breaks. You will feel stuck. You will pause. But you will not lose what you've learned. Your knowledge stays. Your growth waits. And all it takes is one sentence, one question, one brave reply to begin again. So return without guilt. Restart without fear. You are not behind. You are becoming. Your English is already helping someone. Maybe your child, maybe a coworker, maybe a future version of you who finally gets that dream job, maybe a stranger who heard your voice and felt less alone. You don't have to be famous to be inspiring. You just have to show up, and every time you practice, someone is watching, someone is learning, someone is starting because you didn't stop. You are not learning English. You are becoming a communicator. And that identity, that gift, that skill will stay with you for life. You'll use it in every message, every meeting, every story you tell, every dream you explain, every connection you build. And one day when someone says, "You speak so well, how did you learn?" You'll smile, and you'll say something like, "I started small. I used what I had. I practiced every day. I asked AI to help. I made a lot of mistakes. I spoke to myself when I felt shy, and I never gave up." And that answer, that quiet, honest truth, will be more inspiring than anything else you could ever say. So now, go live it. Speak. Write. Connect. Learn. Lead. Share. Let your English grow like sunlight, slow, steady, and full of light. Let your confidence grow like a quiet garden, rooted in truth. Let your tools serve you, but never define you, and let your voice be exactly what it is: enough, strong, gentle, clear, yours. This journey isn't over. It's just beginning, and you're ready, more than ready. Welcome to your future. It sounds beautiful already. Thank you for listening to this special episode of the Daily English Podcast. You've just completed a full journey, not just in language, but in growth. If this helped you, share it. Re-listen when needed. Practice with it. Reflect on it. Live through it. And remember, your voice matters. You are not behind, and everything you've dreamed of is still possible.